My name's Takeo. I'm a multimedia artist, designer, and just multi-hyphenate creative, and I'm based out of St. Pete, Florida.
I'm Kat. I am the U.S. Branch Managing Director of People of Happiness, and I was born and raised in Tampa Bay.
I've always been generally like an artistically inclined kid, but as I grew older, as I finished school and started to explore some of my more artistic talents and stuff, I started to recognize that I got a little something here. And with that, started going to HCC, Hillsborough Community College, and there I started to take like formal, art classes and just kind of refine my skills for the first time. From that, I started apprenticing with this screen printer through a friend of mine, David, who runs a brand called Polex World. And I used to help him with like a lot of graphics and whatnot. I used to do just like a lot of illustration work. That was another thing I used to do behind the scenes, just kind of refining my skills throughout the years. And I hit him up. I was like, yo, can I work with that screen printer that you mentioned to us? And he's like, yeah, put me in contact. I started working with this guy, and I really just started to refine my skills even more. And then I just happened to come at a good time because him and his business partner, who would later become my studio mate, they would go down on our space, which is now Bottomville Studios. And at first we were just kind of like a production house, so we were doing like a lot of outside work for others and just contract work and stuff like that, real boring production shit. And then after the guy, my former mentor and whatnot, parted ways, we just doubled down, stayed as a multimedia studio. And throughout that whole time, my brand Cowboy was kind of like just developing throughout the years. And it all kind of fed into, Cowboy as a brand, because every time I would learn something new or learn a new trade, it would apply back to Cowboy and what I was doing. And I would just take those new skills and reapply them to Cowboy and create new things. We'll make one thing, and then that one thing will kind of snowball into like a dozen other things. And usually it happens in a very spontaneous manner. So usually it'll just start with like an idea. If he has an idea and I'm here, it bounces off of me, I bounce it back, and then we're like, all right, we got the tools to make it, let's make it. I think it's taking something that exists and being inspired by it and being inspired to create something new and like respectful and tasteful way versus just jacking somebody's stuff. Like I feel like you gotta really incorporate your vision, your skill set, and like your inspirations to create something that we haven't seen before. And I feel like that's kind of like reinvention and redefining things and doing stuff to push the envelope forward and kind of open up new doors for like the people to come after you. I feel like that's kind of like reinvention, redefining, or reinterpretation.
So People of Happiness started in 2020, right? Like peak pandemic. And it was really a big effort in Indonesia to start like this mental health movement and the ability to help others and still, again, have super dope clothes. So me and my cousin started it, having two bases, one in Indonesia and 1 year, so that we can kind of grow the brand and grow as a community, even though we're miles and miles apart. I've known Takeo for a while. He's from the area and just always admired his work. So to be able to do a collaboration like this is amazing for me because he truly has that passion and that work ethic that I value as well with People of Happiness.
I guess you will consider it a multicultural collaboration in the sense that I'm Black and Japanese, and then Kat is Indonesian, and we just have like a broad range of, because like not only is it like we are of those places, but also we spend a lot of time in those places. And specifically me in America and Japan, Kat in Indonesia and America, we have a lot of reference points and places outside of the United States. And I feel like this collaboration is a way for both of us to expand out creatively in different parts of the world.
Mainly this collaboration is, like he said, it's a cross-cultural collaboration. So we're taking ideas from both of our brands and kind of combining them into one. We're taking the happiness, the fun, the colorful things from People of Happiness, but we're also like combining the like raw, like street sketches and everything from Cowboy as well. So it's really exciting to be able to see both and kind of combine everything into one cohesive collection. Happiness to me is being surrounded with the people I love and the people who make me grow more. So whether it's hanging out with friends, hanging out with family, or just supporting my friends at their shows and everything, that's what true happiness means to me. It's just seeing others do their passions and be happy as well.
The core of it, like being able to express myself creatively and like, you know, make money and do what I do off of like my creative skills and stuff, that does bring me a lot of joy and peace. And that's kind of the stuff I strive for, kind of pushing myself creatively and like finding those new challenges and those new hurdles to overcome. You know, learn new skills and meet new people and experience new things and go to cool places with cool people and cool clothes and, you know, do stuff like that. That's the shit that makes me happy.
When you think of happy, you kind of think of like, oh my God, like you have to be smiling all the time, like butterflies and like rainbows and all that. And to me, that's not really happiness. You might see your shirts and it might be super cute, super cool, but then there's a story behind it. There's a story about being yourself, being the best version of you, being okay with feelings, and so much more. For me personally, I just want to leave a mark, whether it's on one person or a bunch of people. I think that if it's something as much as, you know, allowing someone to kind of live a better life, that's enough for me.
It's always fascinating and it's always like inspiring to me when I see like my favorite artists like Nigo or this or that, and like people are like, yo, I didn't know he was doing that, or he did that, or he had his hands in that pie and that pie. Like I want people to look back on my career like that, where they're like, yo, I had no idea he was working with this collective or that group or that project or this thing, and like all those things become like cultural institutions and people are just like, yo, I didn't know that he had his hand in all those pots. And I kind of want my impact to be like you know, everlasting in that sense.
I think as a brand, I really hope to impact a lot more larger communities who may not believe there's hope or believe that happiness is deserved. I want to reach out to those communities and let everyone know that you can be happy, you are happy, you're beautiful the way you are, and you can just kind of continue life with whatever passions you have.
So, you know, it just kind of be happening, man. It happens in a very spontaneous and a hard to pin down manner.
Cool.
Like a rugged ingenuity.
Sweet, man.
Cool.
I'm feeling good about that. There's definitely something in there.
Yeah, I think we
Cool.
You're like very good on camera, very good.
Trying to tell you, man. Trying to tell you.
Bro, you're like a Pharrell Williams on the come up.
I like that. I appreciate that quite immensely. That is my guy, that is my dude. And that's like, yeah, that's one of the artists who are also like, he's one of those people. He's probably working since like the 90s, people didn't know. He was working with Tricky Stewart, this, that. He was making some of the craziest tracks. Not always.
Which one you did?
This one specifically, because we were getting it manufactured.
Yeah.